I think the angle of using AI to effectively add a few more team members for free to do your marketing, to help with operations, to help consult on business, to help.
Hi, how are you, Dennis?
You're now a celebrity.
I love it. Thank you for helping me get that set up. So, do you want me to give you kind of an overview of Align, the
Yeah.
educational summit? So JVA, we've never attended Next Up, which is hosted by our partner League Apps. And they invited us this year. It's a new partnership, and there are about 450 people, industry leaders in youth sports. So Major League Soccer and their youth pipeline, NBA, their youth pipeline, youth associations like ours. We are a little bit different in that not every sport necessarily has a JVA that's, hands-on supporting their club directors, running their business and all that. So, I mean, it was an amazing event just from the standpoint of like really having good overall education on where youth sports is right now and just doing networking, seeing
Yeah.
some of our club directors that attended who we invited to join with us. When we were there, we said, this would be really cool to do for volleyball only and just anybody from junior volleyball,
Mhm.
AAU, USAV, everybody. And we're like, okay, maybe like a couple years out. And then by
Mm.
the end of our conversation with Jeremy Goldberg, the League Apps co-founder, we were like, well, let's do it this year. And so they're powering this event from, helping us, line up some presenters, some bigger names to, just overall agenda and organization of the
Mm.
event. But I mean, it's going. We are locking in some pretty awesome people to be a part of this event. So we couldn't be more excited for year one.
Mm.
Realistically, we said, okay, if we can get 100 club directors there, we'll feel good about it. As this thing moves forward, with announcing as of right now, the USA volleyball CEO who's just named John Spra is committed to going and being our opener.
Oh, good.
For this event is pretty huge because their history between us and USA Volleyball is not awesome. We've
Mhm.
very, very noted attempts to have a aligned relationship, but it wasn't always reciprocated. The turnover at the CEO, it's been already a really good thing. Just kind of unifying our sport and all the leaders in the sport. AU Volleyball is a partner of ours. There, people will be there. When I say that, I mean like those that oversee the volleyball, which is their biggest growth sport across any sport that they run. All the way up to their president might be there too.
Okay.
He attended our last event we hosted in June. So we're excited. Our goals are provide club directors with education to help them think big picture when running their business, all the way down to daily operations. A session specific to budgeting and accounting. We have someone that's going to present data and analytics, and he presented at League Apps. He's a member of ours and started the volleyball business consulting company just most recently because he's gotten a lot of interest from club
Makes
directors.
sense. Yeah. Turn into a business.
Yeah, I mean, he's just acquired or a new client in New
Mm.
York City, $4.5 million business running out of 30 facilities, just running leagues, not even volleyball club teams.
Yeah.
So what's your budget for? Yes, what's your most profitable, program that you run? What's the most profitable part of your business? And they said they didn't know. They don't have a budget.
That's
No.
not a business then.
Right. So like he's going to provide a lot of, I think, really specific like action items and takeaways and how to analyze your business's data and, for growth and just to know where
Mhm.
to focus or just, different pockets around you. He did that at League Apps and had a lot of engagement. I guess the survey showed that, he was one of the most favorite sessions that
Hmm.
people. So he'll differentiate a little bit, obviously specific to volleyball. And we're, a little bit of panel and then breakout sessions. So my thought with your session was probably have it be a breakout on the main day. So the first day is 3 o'clock start on Tuesday,
Okay.
and that'll be main stage not break out until Wednesday. So we'll do
Okay.
breakouts in the morning and afternoon.
Okay.
I love that, like if you could focus on AI and
Hmm.
how it can, drive the business model, I'm sure you can think of a good topic or just kind of, these are a lot of the attendees. So that's another thing. It's like interesting. I think anybody can benefit from this, whether they're small or big or new.
Mm.
I bet most clubs are not implementing AI as much as they should or could and would really benefit from learning it. The tricky part of, yeah, some are going to be 10 team clubs and some are going to be 100 team clubs. So there's a little bit of variety there. We're using an event app, Huva. So we do have the ability to like learn more about the attendees through there and engage with them through there. Same with
Yeah.
the presenters and sponsors, have the ability just to kind of network. So hoping to utilize that app as much as possible. And then we'll have a web page. I'm working on it. It should be ready tomorrow, but it'll highlight our schedule, our presenters, sponsors, all of that. And
And because you have all these other figureheads in volleyball, we could demonstrate what's it like if you had a one-on-one with and name any of these other people. And if these people, like you, have trained themselves with Google, so Google
mm-hmm,
understands who you are, then the AI understands who you are.
mm-hmm.
And thus, I mean, even if they're a small club team with one location, they can still, I mean, you still have to market, you still have to take care of members, there's still things that have to happen, even when you have a really small team.
Mm-hmm.
It's simply like, do you have stuff that you would like to get done that's not getting done? Yes. Okay, well, then that's how you leverage AI. And
Yeah, maybe that's leveraging AI for,
everyone else thinks AI is like generating words, right? The chat bot that you talk to, and that's the abuse of AI because they're, oh, I'm using AI. Really? Show me. Are you using it like a team member? Oh yeah, I have it, write up all the stuff. And like, okay, great. But if you have a team, then you have, like a membership coordinator, you have an operations person, you have a marketing person, you have like a website person. Like those are all different roles that just like you'd onboard a human, you would onboard these other AIs. And I want to give away all the stuff that we've built. And things have changed so much in the last couple of months. I can't imagine what it's going to be in the summer.
yeah, yeah.
But whatever it is, I want to give it away because I want people to actually implement it.
So you think like a title, something, I'm sure they use the bot
We could
now,
even ask the AI to do it, but
leveraging AI, something with
maybe along the lines
getting,
of,
getting tasks done.
I think there's I think there's like two or three angles. I'm curious to see what do you think. Like one is using AI as virtual employees to get more work done. You know,
Yeah, I will tell you this time of year especially. I mean, I feel like I feel it and I'm not even, running. I run some youth programs and I'm in the gym a lot and
yeah.
working with players, but I don't have a team, so to speak. I mean, it is nuts for directors. And I think they're just even more now than ever. They feel like there's more and more on their plate. And is the answer always to hire, right? Someone new. Well, how do they work that into their budget and tasks and make sure the person is doing the tasks and staying busy and
Hmm.
justifying their salary? And then you
Yeah.
worry about turnover. Am I going to lose them to the club next door because they're going to
Hmm.
offer 10,000 more? Yeah, so I really like that concept that
Yeah.
where you're going.
And then if they have clear job descriptions and roles and SOPs, then their AI employee doesn't quit. The AI employee doesn't work at the club next door, doesn't need $10,000 more per month. It'll do its role. And as I was just at CES last week, which is the biggest trade show on the planet, right? This is
Hmm.
where all the big, Sony and Ford and Google, all these guys unveil their latest stuff. And
Hmm.
I saw physical AI. I saw robots that were juggling, that were so realistic, like you weren't quite sure. I mean, you could tell like they were sort of not exactly human, but they could almost pass if you saw them at a Costco, you know? And
Wow.
we're at the point that this really feels like this Terminator Matrix, whatever you want to call it, moment. But
It's
some
wild.
people, and of course the classic reactions are people are scared or they're, worried about whatever. But I also look at it as well, there's a lot of opportunity. So if we think about these club directors and they're overwhelmed and they're dealing with, operational budget challenges, not enough people or whatever, well then
Mhm.
why not use AI in those particular roles? Because whenever I
Mhm.
don't even like to say AI because AI just invokes all this like rockets into space, robots killing people, sci-fi Hollywood stuff. And I think about AI as the practical getting work done stuff like what you're
Right.
I mean, I do this all day long. I assign work to the AI to like call people, for example, right? Or to like fix things or go set up a project and then come back to me when you're done. Tell me how it went, you know?
Wow. So I wonder if it's doable in the presentation to give a couple examples of like an employee, like what would that what would their tasks be
Yeah.
so that it would be directly related, like what a club admin is doing.
Well, if you can give me one or two, this is what I did for the NFDA because I had a lot of really killer examples from pro sports and whatnot, but they wanted to show the ordinary average 60-year-old funeral director that AI was relevant to them. So they gave me a mix of small to large funeral directors. And we basically did some of these group webinars, just like hands-on workshopping to get it done. And then for my presentation, instead of giving like the typical PowerPoint presentation, I don't know if the NFDA people told you this, I had the funeral homes present their work and what they did and what worked and what didn't work. And it was a hit. And everyone came up. It's so weird, Brianna, because all these guys came up to me afterwards saying, "Oh, that was amazing," and blah, blah, blah. And I said, "What are you talking about? They did all the work. They presented what they did. Why are you telling me this? Right?
Mhm.
Go tell
Mhm.
them." Right?
Mhm.
I think there's no better way to like, even if you have someone like me who's like whatever, like a figurehead in AI and digital marketing, people will say, yeah, 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 that's this guy was an engineer for 30 something years and sure, but that I can't do that. And they're thinking about there's that doesn't relate to me. But if they see someone else just like them who's running a small club or has 10 locations or whatever, and they're actually doing it to run their club and manage their budget and the roster and the
Mhm.
drills and
Mhm.
deal with communication with the parents, like all the stuff that you have to do in running a club.
Yeah.
And they see someone else actually doing it, then it's not this pie in the sky. Oh, well, AI is coming. And like, okay, yeah, all these other
Yeah.
people are saying that too.
So what would you need from me? I guess we can work through that,
Put
just
out a
to.
feeler to some of them because anytime you have a membership, you always
Mhm.
have early adopters. Like,
Mhm.
there's always the club directors. There's always like some like, the 10% of the people that are quick to get stuff done and they're always innovating. And then then there's like the general majority. Then there's it's like a bell curve.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
always know who those people are who are always innovating, who take action. So I'd send out a little note to a few of them saying, hey, this guy Dennis Yu, he's presenting on how other club directors can use AI, and we're looking for real examples. We're not charging anything. This is not like a way to sell agency services, but we want to demonstrate, just like we did for the NFDA and some other organizations, like we've done it for lawn care and pest control and roofers, and it
Mhm.
all ends up being the same thing because there's a business owner who's trying to manage a function with multiple people
Mhm.
and there's stuff that's not happening. And the easiest one is stuff with the website and marketing and stuff like that, right? Because that's where
Yeah. So would you be able to tie in digital marketing with this, or would that be too much?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we could do both. The digital marketing is probably the easiest one
Yeah. I mean, that's just
to
that's a
rank
hot.
on local. Like, okay, so you're the club director in Springfield, Illinois, or whatever it is. You're not trying to do this national thing. You're just trying to help the youth in that neighborhood
Mhm.
that you're in.
Yeah.
You're not trying to be an influencer with 100,000 followers or what. No,
Right.
it's a local neighborhood thing. Like every one of
Right.
the club directors, I mean, yeah, maybe there's like an adjoining town or two in the same town or whatever, but they're not really competitors. So why wouldn't everyone want to learn from each other, especially to win at the
Well,
local?
there's certain pockets that,
Okay.
yeah, they don't like sharing with each other and they get very, very, closed off. But we
Right.
fortunately, I mean, we tap into a lot of our members who are open to
Yeah.
sharing what they do and how they do it. And
But like I
yeah.
said, there's always that 10%, just like with the NFDA, right? And there are some that they just didn't understand technology and but like we're not trying to convince those people, right?
Hmm.
But when they put out a call saying, "Hey, Dennis is doing this thing. Who wants to volunteer? You're getting free help." And then
Hmm.
if you have, this is the part that really worked. I can give myself credit for this. I said, okay, I understand like the whole using AI and it's sort of like I don't know how to use social media or my parents don't know how to use the VCR. Like this whole like old people are afraid of technology kind of thing, right?
Hmm.
So I said, okay, well, you're helping the youth. Obviously, there's people that want to do it super competitively in volleyball, right? They want to go pro, but then it's also like building skills and communication and all this. So I said to the MTA, why don't give me these funeral directors, and then they can pull in a son or daughter or other young adult who is, they could even, like, we even had high schoolers, like 15-year-olds that were doing this. And they would do better work than the 40-year-olds, which I thought was
Hmm.
hilarious, right? Which sort of, the whole stereotype of the kids like understand the iPad right away.
Oh
And
yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
It's so
And
too.
so we found that to be true in the use of AI tools. And then people can be all like philosophical about, well, it's because they grew up with technology and they understand that you can talk to the AI. And people like me are still thinking like, don't understand like how to talk to the AI. And because it's all about how do you talk to the AI to get the results, right? And you have to
Yeah.
talk to it a certain way, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah, what if we had some of these club directors and say, hey, you can learn to oversee this thing and understand from a business management standpoint,
Hmm.
what is the impact of AI? But at the same time, find a couple of young adults that
Hmm.
are ready and the main thing is, this is from experience. And we're doing this with Johns Hopkins University, teaching these kids and doing the same thing. The main thing is, can these young adults show up on time and take this thing seriously
Hmm.
and be like self-organized? Because I'm not going to check in. The teacher's not going to say Friday, where's everyone's papers? Like we don't have time for that, right? You need
Yeah.
to be self-motivated. Like you need to like do your stuff without anyone chase. I'm not going to chase people down, right? But we found like with the NFDA that the all these helpers or young adults, and we had some that were even like 32, which is fine. It's still a young adult as far as I'm concerned, right? There's like, oh, but what if I'm 25? Like it's the mindset of wanting to
Yeah.
learn. But we found that there was never an issue of were they competent enough to use the AI, or did they struggle to learn, or what that was never the issue was always, did you get the thing done? Like did you put in the time to get the task done? Yes or no? Right. And it was always like time management and like, oh, I was busy, or it's like a New Year's resolution. You said you were going to go to the gym, but did you go
Yeah.
to the gym? So
Yeah.
that was the make or break in using AI tools. And we've since done this thousands of times in the last few years. And the
Hmm.
make and break with AI is, do they literally put in the time to do it? And or assign it to a young adult? And does that young adult put in the time? And if they
Hmm.
do, they win. And if they don't, then it's not like, do they use the AI properly? It's do they even do it at all is really the issue.
Well, the goal would be, those in your session would be ready to get going and they would reach
Yeah.
out to you.
Well,
All
if they're
right.
going to come to the session because it's a breakout, then by definition, of all the sessions they're going to, they clearly came to this one because they're
Yeah, they want to do it.
selecting.
So the next step would be speaker agreement that I would send your way. So what do you need to make this a win for you?
I retired 20 something years ago. And my mission is to create jobs for young adults in an apprenticeship model, working with the school system. I don't hate on the universities and all that, but we're getting more of the hands-on stuff.
Mhm.
So the more organizations, and we've done this with the large tech companies, whether it's like TikTok or whatever, or the more people that are doing the apprenticeship model where the small business owner is employing their family members or employing other members from the high school or college, so
Mhm.
that we can show that this apprenticeship model is a path that everyone can follow, especially with kids not going to school now, or what, because all
Right.
that's the win for me. And I've lost millions of dollars intentionally funding this. It just happens to be that folks like Nike and Red Bull and whatever have paid us a lot of money, which offsets that too. But
Yeah.
every dollar, we're not a 501(c)(3) or C6, but we basically are, if you know what I mean,
Yeah.
because every dollar goes back into these programs.
Okay.
So, if you can cover travel, and if we can get some of these more willing sorts of members, with young adults that are typically in the 15 to 25 range to work on digital marketing. That's the easiest one. The young adults want to work on social media, digital marketing. They don't want to work on operations and membership and, dealing with parents or whatever,
Right.
or getting ready for tournaments and all that. But I mean, it's of course, AI can do any of it. AI doesn't care, right? But the young adults, if they're the workers for these club directors, tend to want to do social media kinds of things.
Okay.
It
So
that
for
could be a
travel,
component of it. Yeah. If
cover
you cover the
travel,
travel,
get
and
you
then
there, get you a
I
place.
would love to print. This seems sort of like, what's the word? Anachronistic, but I would love to take the work that we're doing together and
Mhm.
give it out as a handbook, saying here's like the recipes that you can use. Like, here's the recipe for getting your website fixed. Here's the recipe for giving instructions to a young adult. Here's the recipe for, getting ready for a tournament, or here for, sharing drills or getting people to pay their fees, or, whatever it might be. And then that way, it's just like a book of recipes of real examples of what we've done. We print that, that's probably $2 to print each copy times however many people.
Okay.
100, 200, another 200, $300, but your question to me, I'd answer is, what can we do together to make the biggest impact so more people implement? That's what I want.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Those are good ideas. I'd love to do it.
Because you
Okay.
know what happens when people go to a conference, it could be main stage or breakouts. At the end of the thing, they're so overwhelmed. They have a thing full of notes and they don't implement,
Right.
right? That's what,
Right.
because they're like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not where I want people to actually come away and actually, because then it's like a week later, it's like, oh, what was it that they talked about? It was like all this AI stuff, but I'm totally confused.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And so when obviously, like we can point them to Blitz metrics.
Yeah. And then they can enroll themselves as
Mhm.
club directors and
Mhm.
enroll any of their helpers or young adults
Okay.
in our training programs, which are free.
Great. Okay.
Yeah, we've got 150 courses. You name it, we've got it. In anything in
Awesome.
digital, we got it.
Awesome. Cool, Dennis. Okay, so I'm gonna work up the agreement to send to you.
Yeah.
Headshot, the whole thing.
All the standard stuff. Yeah. I've
We'll
done like
we'll
800
release
of these.
it. We'll push it out.
Yeah.
You'll be famous.
I think my
More
knowledge is
than
it's,
volleyball.
yeah, that would be awesome. And I'd love just to not I mean, yes, the promotion's good. Like, yeah, come to a line and here's all these amazing speakers we're getting. That's awesome. But I also would love to do some guest blog posts saying, here's actual helpful information, right? This is
Leading
how we
up
actually
to
do it. Hmm?
leading up to it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that would
think
be
I think the best promotion is actually sharing, here's a taste of some of the things we're going to show how to do.
yeah, we've done that in the past with presenters for our club management track that this is our first event that we're hosting on our own like this. So yes, that's a great idea. We've hosted in December every year at the AVCA convention, which is all
Yeah.
coaches,
Yeah.
half a day, and then some little snippets of sessions here and there throughout. This is our first, day and a half, just ours. So
I want
yeah,
to train as many people as possible. So that's great. I'd love to meet people in person, answer the questions, teach them all that, but why not put it as blog post too?
yes, for sure. Cool. I love that.
Yeah.
All right. Good stuff. Well, I appreciate you talking to me today and that you're going to be there. I'm super excited.
Yeah. We
Uh,
get to meet in person instead of via AI.
yeah, that's always great. Like you get to go to all these events and I'm just like thrilled that you are able to make this one. So
Yeah.
thank you. Look for an email from me in the next day or two with that and with the agreement and you can look it over and then we'll send it through for your signature and then we can just start,
Yep.
kind of getting all the things from you. But I mean, we've got time. The main thing is just the first part.
Right.
So share.
I get it. There's a lot going. I mean, we used to run our own conferences and then COVID killed it, but it's a lot of
Yeah.
work, as you know.
Yeah. It's like little wins here and there that you
Yeah.
can get really excited
Whatever
about.
I can do, holler.
All right, cool. Thank you so much.
All
We'll
right.
talk
Thanks,
soon,
Brianna.
okay? Have a great rest of the day.